I've actually made 15 million pesos in one property alone in that 5 years. It can be passive income, pero in the beginning, mahirap siya. Siguro you can have a passive income business kapag nagawa mo na yung system. I have been managing my Airbnbs while living in Japan. So lahat nung ginagawa ko, it's basically remote. Okay, so this is my first webinar. Again, my name is Miki Makato. I'm just gonna briefly introduce myself. So I've been a Airbnb superhost for the past 5 years. It's on my 5th year now. I'm also a software engineer in Japan. I also founded the company Scrub Technologies, and Scrub Technologies is both SEC registered and BIR registered in the Philippines. I have been managing my Airbnbs while living in Japan. So lahat nung ginagawa ko, it's basically remote. It's been quite actually very challenging kasi hindi ko din in-expect na mapupunta ako sa Airbnb industry. Like I said, I just started my career as a software engineer back then. So in Japan kasi, I started as an English teacher here. And then after that, I changed my career to software engineer or in programming field. So, bago pa lang ako dun sa career na yon. So, hindi ko rin in-expect na I would go to Airbnb. I just wanted to actually avoid paying my mortgage in the Philippines kasi I built our dream house sa Tagaytay. So, I was like, I didn't want to pay for the mortgage by using my salary. So I discovered Airbnb that time. That was 5 years ago. I think medyo bago, hindi naman bago yung Airbnb sa pandinig ng mga tao. But I think it's still new in the Philippines. So hindi pa siya ganun ka, because I was like basically looking for documentation that time or like videos on YouTube about Airbnb in the Philippines. Wala akong masyadong makita. Lahat na nakikita kong Airbnb YouTube videos is coming from the US. So basically wala pang gumagawa masyado ng ganitong content. And then so I basically did all my research through YouTube and documentation, online research lahat. And then I started my Airbnb first property in the Philippines, in Tagaytay. So doon nag-start yung career ko in Airbnb hosting. So and then from one property I grew to multiple properties now. Meron din ako sa BGC. So yeah, hindi siya madali. I think everybody knows about this. So hindi lang ako sa Airbnb nagre-rely. I also use other platforms like Booking.com, Agoda. Mahirap siya. Siguro you can have a passive income business pag nagawa mo na yung system. And then later on, it can be a semi-passive later. In the beginning, it's very active work. So ito yung 3 pillars ng winning STR. The 3 pillars of a winning STR. STR means short-term rental. Of course, trust, demand, and operations, diba? So trust, andito yung reviews, andito yung verification, yung clear rules, consistency. Demand is with the great location, smart pricing, strong photos, marketing, and then operations, diba? Andito yung cleaning SOP. Napaka-importante ng cleaning, no? We have to be best friends with our cleaners kasi if the property is like it's not clean, 'di ba? Parang 'di ba sa hotel in-expect natin napakalinis nung hotel, 'di ba? Same kasing expectations ng mga guests natin. When they check in, the minute they check in, they will check everything eh. So we have to make sure na malinis talaga yung property natin before a guest comes in or checks in. And then of course maintenance. We always have to consider the maintenance din. No? I think hindi ko alam kung paano nyo hinahandle yung mga properties ninyo, but you have to make sure na meron kayong mga extra, like for example, bidet, yung sa toilet, palaging nasisira yan. You have to have an extra one kasi kapag meron kayong pinapunta na magre-repair, tapos saka pa lang nila bibilihin yung kailangan nila, it's gonna cost you time. So, kailangan meron kayong mga, sa maintenance, kailangan meron kayong mga backup na mga gamit na pwede nyong ipagamit dun sa magre-repair. Guest communication is very, very important. So, kung sa guest communications, kayo ba yung nag-handle ng communications or meron kayong VA? Yung VA ba na kinuha ninyo, marunong ba sa Airbnb? Marunong ba silang mag-handle ng escalations? Kasi marami sa mga VA na they can answer questions and it's like facts. Actually, kung meron kayong setup na bot or like chatbot, hindi niya kailangan ng VA Pwede niyong i-automate somehow and ituturo ko dito yun sa chapter 9. Part siya nung sa book, meron dito AI automation. Kung paano niyo pwedeng gamitin si AI to somehow automate yung mga communications para maging madali para sa inyo yung pag-handle ng mga messages. So kung wala kayong VA. And then calendar, this is very very important. Pag sa dating sa calendar, lalo na kung meron kayong mga iba't ibang platform na ginagamit, paano nyo maiiwasan yung double bookings? So, dapat marunong kayo na i-sync yung calendar sa Airbnb, sa Booking.com, and then sa Agoda. So, meron yan yung iCal, and then you can sync it with the different types of property or platform. So, kailangan you make sure na hindi magdo-double booking kasi siguro sa 5 years ko, isang beses pa lang ako nag-double booking. And that was my fault kasi may direct booking ako. And then, nakalimutan ko yung direct booking i-close. And then, meron nag-book dun sa Airbnb kasi naka-instant booking ako. Pero I was able to manage naman kasi nabigyan ko siya ng other date. So, yun. Yung mga ganong booking, yung double booking, iiwasan nyo talaga yan kasi napakahirap niyan i-solve kapag meron kayong double booking. Anyway, let's go forward. So, a beautiful property with bad cleaning gets bad reviews. Ito, napaka-importante nito, no? A clean property with weak photos never gets clicked. And then a popular property with a poor pricing can be fully booked and you still lose money. So ano nga ba yung 7-layer ng STR business stack? So for most beginners, they only build up to layer 1, yung property. And then, if you're a pro, you can build everything, all the 7 stacks. So sa first is property, number 2 is experience, number 3 is operations, 4 distribution, and then automation, brand, and community. Siguro sa career ko, ito yung ginagawa ko ngayon. Ang natutunan ko dito sa Japan is the Japanese hospitality. If you want to have a successful business, you have to give something more out of your business for free. So hindi lang tayo puro pakabeg, pero we have to know how to give something out of alam mo yung maliliit na bagay like I don't know if you guys do this, but what I do with my property is I give this welcome drinks and snacks. It actually helps. Why? Because sometimes may mga guests tayo na like for example sa akin, yung mga guests ko, minsan they're checking in at the middle of the night o kaya madaling araw. And then syempre, hindi na, kung malayo yung property mo, kung malayo naman sa mga convenience store, expect mo na yung property mo, wala silang mabibilhan, di ba? So you make it convenient for them na at least meron man lang silang tubig na na madadatnan sa property mo. Kasi syempre kung pagod ka, you had a long flight, and then pagdating mo dun sa property, wala man lang water, 'di ba? Parang medyo how to say, magiging problem pa nila 'yon. Pero if you provided something like water or snacks or something like that, I think it makes them feel more welcome. So yung maliliit na bagay na 'yon, it goes out a long way. So yun, ginagawa ko yun sa property ko. And then I also try to provide dun sa villa ko sa Tagaytay, I provide breakfast, free breakfast. So yung breakfast na yon, I make sure na hindi ako malulugi. So kapag naka 15,000 and above yung rate ko, I give the free breakfast. Pero kapag nagbigay pa ako ng mas mababang discount, hindi na ako nagbibigay ng free breakfast. So I try to uh, be in the middle when it comes to giving out the freebies. Okay, next one is I will worry about the systems later. So ito yung sinasabi ko, mas magandang may sistema na kayo first hand pa lang. Kasi you're doing a business here eh. Your property is your product, 'di ba? Gusto mo ba yung product mo iisa lang, 'di ba? Hindi. You want to scale up in the future. Basically, you want this property to be multiple properties in the future, hindi lang iisa. Bakit? Kasi kung meron kayong day job ngayon, you can actually get rid of your day job and then go focus on the Airbnb business in the future kung profitable talaga kayo, 'di ba? So, pero mahirap mag-scale ng negosyo kung wala kayong sistema. So unang-una pa lang dapat may sistema na kayo dun sa business ninyo. If you can put a system in your business, that's how you scale. I think that's what successful businesses do. They can scale when they have a system in hand. Lahat ng mga products na malalaki ngayon, lahat na ng mga negosyo na nagiging successful nowadays, it's because they have a system in place. And then, the last thing that I keep on saying a while ago is Airbnb is my only channel. I need bookings from, so new mindset ninyo dapat is, I need bookings from multiple resources. Dapat meron kayong, hindi lang kayo nakasalalay. Like I said, hindi lang kayo nakasalalay sa Airbnb, but meron din kayong, yung property ninyo, meron din kayo sa booking.com, Agoda, kung kaya ninyo, Expedia. Actually, maraming platforms, no, na may Klook pa nga, 'di ba? So kung kaya niyo aralin, pero hindi niyo naman kailangan na parang ang dami-daming properties, Mickey, ang dami-daming platforms, ano bang unahin natin? So I would just suggest do it one at a time. Hindi niyo kailangan i-post lahat nung gumawa kayo ng iba't ibang listing sa iba't ibang platform agad-agad. So you can just do it one at a time. At least siguro ngayon Airbnb muna. Itong month lang na to, aralin ninyo. And then pag nasanay na kayo, then you can go to another platform. So just take it one at a time kasi mahirap din na marami na kayong platforms na hinahawakan tapos hindi nyo pa masyadong gamay. That's the problem can happen there. Okay, so chapter 2 is starting with the right SDR model. So you have to pick the model that fits your situation. So many beginners think that they need to own a property before they can start. Maraming nag-iisip na kailangan ko maglabas kaagad ng malaking pondo para magkaroon ng Airbnb. No, that's not true. Actually, 2 of my properties in BGC is not my own condominium. It's actually an Airbnb. I'm just renting. It's what we call Airbnb arbitrage. So, ito yun, no? Number 1 is own property. So, high capital siya. Kasi kailangan mo talaga maglabas ng malaking capital dito kapag sarili mong pera. And medium risk. So, you own a condo, a house, or villa. You rent it out short term. You have the full control, building long-term asset value, but big budget needed for mortgage, taxes, and maintenance. Ito yung property ko sa Tagaytay. So I own the property, and I admit, mas maganda siya kasi although high capital siya, at least naging sa akin naman yung property, di ba? Yung mortgage, instead na sa from out of my salary or own pocket ko kinukuha ko siya from the profit ng business ko. So hindi ko na imagine mo pag in the long run it's like you had a free property out of that business, and then yung asset mo matatawag siyang asset kasi it's making money, no? Ito yung karamihan na maling ginagawa ng mga OFW. So they buy the house, they live in the house, and it becomes a liability, diba? The moment na tumira ko dun sa property na yon, hindi na siya asset eh. It's gonna be a liability na. So, pero kung yung property na yon, it's making money, may cash flow, hindi siya liability. It's asset, diba? So, ginagamit mo yung loan as a leverage. So, panalo ka doon. Lalo na kung napapaikot mo yung pera, nag-profit ka pa, and then you can buy the next property ulit. Yun yung ginawa ko dun sa property ko sa Tagaytay. Kumita ako ng malaki sa Airbnb and I made enough money to invest into a second property. Kaya ako nakabili ng property sa BGC. Kasi out of dun sa profit ng Airbnb ko sa Tagaytay. So, yun yung ano eh. If you can do that, that's the best way to to boost your portfolio or to make money. And then my portfolio right now is at 60M because of that. So hindi dahil sa sahod ko sa pagiging OFW or yung income ko dito sa Japan, hindi ko man lang ginagamit yun eh. Ginagamit ko yung income ko dito sa Japan for my own needs para dito sa bahay to pay for my apartment, to pay for our food. Pero para hindi ko galawin yung pera na kinikita ko sa Pilipinas. So I was trying to be smart kasi hindi rin naman ako nag-start from yung kumbaga yung I didn't start it from like mayaman kami, no. Wala rin kami, nanggaling din kami sa hirap. I just really I was lucky enough to be in a situation na marami akong natutunan and then I could use my knowledge to increase my income and assets. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Number 2 is the rental arbitrage. Ito yung sinasabi ko na you can rent properties and then use that as an Airbnb or to do Airbnb business. You can rent from a landlord and use it for short-term rentals with permission, no ownership, but you pay rent every month even when bookings are slow. Yun yung high risk to. Kasi kapag hindi mo na book, pag wala ka masyadong bookings, kailangan mo pa rin bayaran si landlord mo ng rent. So, yun, medyo high risk talaga siya. So, kailangan pag maggagawa ka ng, or kung papasukin mo ang rental arbitrage, kailangan you did your feasibility study. I-check mo muna kung yung area na yon is profitable ba. You have to have the right study before you go there. Otherwise, magbabayad ka ng renta na hindi naman kumikita. So it's gonna be lost. Number 3 is co-hosting. If you don't have a property and you don't want to, you don't have like a big capital, you can do co-hosting. This is best for beginners. You manage someone else's property, you handle the message, you handle the cleaners, the pricing and everything, and you earn a percentage. And then you learn the full short-term rental business without the financial risk. So I would suggest this. Kung gusto niyo pumasok sa Airbnb na wala pa kayo masyadong income, wala pa kayo masyadong capital, and then you can go from this number 3. And then, okay, so moving forward is the property management. Ito, medium capital, medium risk. So the professional version of co-hosting, you build a company. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm building a company. I can actually do property management under my OPC. Nagtayo ako ng OPC, one-person company na business, and then I do property management for other people. So you build a company that manages multiple properties for owners, and then from setup to monthly reporting. Usually you earn about 20 to 30% if you want to manage properties for other people. Kung hindi nyo naman kayang mag-manage ng own properties ninyo, pwede rin kayong gumamit ng property management para i-handle yun. Ito yung 100% na passive income na talaga kayo kasi hindi nyo na kailangan mag-worry kasi si property management na yung magbahala sa lahat. Kaso, ang laki nung mawawala sa inyo. Kung 20% yung nawawala sa inyo, 30%. So imagine mo, gross yun ha, gross profit to. So, kung kumikita ka ng 100,000 pesos, 20 to 30,000 pesos, mapupunta ka agad kay property management. So, dapat yun, kino-consider nyo na in the future. Kung willing ba kayo na, ano ba yung mas maganda? Ako ba yung magmamanage ng property ko or ipapamanage ko sa iba yung property ko. So, yun, kailangan nyo din i-consider to. And then, the direct booking brand. You generate bookings through your own site, social media, like Facebook page. Pwede naman kayong gumawa ng Facebook page ninyo. Marami sa mga properties or staycations that they just post on FB to get bookings. Kaso, andito naman yung risk na baka matawag kayong scammer or ito yung at meron na ako na encounter nito, gusto nila ng walk-in kasi takot na takot sila sa mga scam, and then they don't trust people anymore because of the scammers. So yun ang mahirap naman dito sa direct bookings on Facebook page. That's the reason why I decided to create Geo.rent, kasi sa Geo.rent you go to the verification. Pag hindi ka dumaan sa verification, hindi ka pwedeng mag-book, and you cannot also get book. So yon, kailangan si host and si client or si guest dumaan ng verification under Verif. And so that's the 5 types of the STR model. So you have to decide kung ano yung model na nag-fit sa situation mo. I have trusted, usually sa maintenance, they have a maintenance sa mga condominium, no? Kung sa condominium yung property ninyo. If not, what I do with the BGC, may mga engineer kasi sila, and then sila yung inaano namin, we ask them to do some maintenance for us. Sa Tagaytay naman, since meron kaming sa HOA naman sila, meron din silang dumadating kapag meron kaming tinatawag na maintenance. So it really depends on which area you are, yung property ninyo. It's actually yung maintenance ng condominium, they can help you out. So dapat kaibigan nyo din sila. Yon, isa rin sa mga tips ko, kaibiganin nyo lahat, security guard, yung mga admins, you really need to be friends with them kasi like for example dun sa mga last minute na magpapapasok kayo ng mga guests, madali na lang kapag sila yung kausap ninyo eh. And then I don't know if you guys meron kasi akong agent na I trust that agent to handle things for me. So yun, if you guys have like really trusted people, you can operate or do Airbnb remotely, like what I've been doing for the past 5 years. Pero yun nga lang, hindi kayo makakapag-scale kasi mahirap talaga mag-scale kapag remote. Dapat, if mag-scale kayo, dapat talaga nasa Pilipinas na kayo. Or may sistema kayo. Like I said, kung meron kayong sistema na in place, if you have a system in place, then it's gonna be easier. Lalo na sa mga escalations o mga problems na dumadating. Anything po? May ibang questions pa po? Sa maintenance naman, in the future, scrub.ph would have sa ngayon kasi cleaners lang yung hinahandle namin, but we're gonna branch out to sa repairs then in the future. So right now we just want to focus on vertical vertical approach muna kami. We don't want to do horizontal pa, meaning ayaw ko pang mag-branch out sa ibang areas kapag hindi pa namin pulido yung sa cleaning area. If you want to get a lot of bookings, then follow this one. So like I said, I think mas maganda kung madadownload ninyo tong ebook, and then you have the time to read it. I think you're going to really improve your listing for your business. I think that's all for today. Thank you guys again for coming to this webinar. And I'm going to post my links on my socials, and then message me if you guys have any question. That's all for today, and I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Thank you guys. And I hope mas maraming booking para sa ating lahat. Thank you, everyone.